Hi guys, welcome to the Wellness Collective's free yoga on Saturday. My name is Sam, and today I'll be taking you through a Vinyasa Yoga flow. And the theme I wanted to go through was something that I've been going through in my own life. And I feel like a lot of people I've met have been struggling with kind of this thing, and it's just surrendering, and it's completely letting go and surrendering to your faith and the trust in the universe and in your higher power, whatever that may be, God, Jesus, whatever. And just really trusting that has the better plan for you, and everything you go through, be good, bad, or indifferent, is there for you to learn something, is there for you to grow something. Like surrendering is giving yourself over completely and trusting completely and fully with everything in your body. And it's a really hard thing to do. And it's not something that we can just do once and be done with. Surrendering is something that we have to choose to do every single day, just like being happy. We have to choose. We have to put that intention in. And I read this really good quote the other day. I think I posted it on my stories. But it was just like, hold on, I'll find it because I'm not going to say it as good. It's like, why do you theme with intention? Yeah, why do you teach with the theme? And it says, because intentional action is much more potent than action alone. And that's just when we get so caught up in our everyday lives, just going through the motions and walking through in our routines and seeing the same people and saying the same things and thinking the same thoughts. We just get caught up in that. And intention really brings us back to, what do we want to get out of our day? What do we want to get out of this conversation? What is the purpose for this thing that we're doing? And if you put intention behind everything that you do, then you'll see that what you want to happen will usually come to fruition because it has that intention behind it. And then that makes your action much more packed with that intention. And it's hard, you can set intentions for every little thing, but at least try and set a couple intentions each day for yourself. And one that I try and do is surrender. And it is really hard for me sometimes because I do want to control things and I want to make things the way that I want them to be. And I want to have things work out the way that I want them to work out. But if I've learned anything, it's that I don't always know the best way. And I don't always know the things that I'm supposed to learn. And I don't always know the right direction that I'm supposed to go in. But the universe will always guide me towards a path that I'm supposed to be on. And so if I can surrender to that and trust myself and listen to myself and my inner guidance and my inner strength that the universe is pouring through me, then I'll be led to where I need to go, kind of effortlessly. And that just comes with surrender. When you don't surrender, you're just fighting an uphill battle against resistance, because you're trying to make something one way and you're wondering, why isn't it working out? Why isn't it working out? But the universe is trying to make it go this other way because this is really the better way for you. This way is not going to lead to where you think it's going to lead, but the universe sees everything. So they know that going this way, well, you might have a few bumps in the beginning, it'll work out better for you in the end. And it's just surrendering to that I don't always know what's best, that I have to trust the guidance that I received and not just wash it off as like, oh no, that's not true. I need to control, because that doesn't get me anywhere. And yoga is one of the best places that I like to practice intention, because you bring that intention on your mat and you focus on it with every breath, with every movement, and it starts to flow through you. And then when you get off your mat, you realize that you kind of have that intention throughout your day. And so it's just a way to reinforce your intention as you practice. Because yoga really is about so much more than just what happens on the mat. It's about a lifestyle. It's about, the union of your mind, your body, your soul, living to your truest and highest potential. So with that said, today I'm going to get started. One second. Okay. Get some music going. And we're just going to come over to our mats. Just take a nice, comfortable seat and easy pose. 1 second, I'm just going to. Like I said, just come over to easy pose. We're just going to start out with some nice, easy neck rolls. This is Penny. My boyfriend isn't here again, so she might pop in a couple times. I'll try and keep her out of the way. So we're just going to start. Take a deep inhale in, lift your arms up. And as you exhale, bring your hands down to heart center. Really focus on setting that intention to surrender. Whatever you're fighting against, whatever you're going against, just surrender. Let the universe guide you. Your God, your higher power guide you. Release. Just bring your hands on your knees. Penny, come on. Go lay down, baby. Go lay down. Lay down. Okay. Right. So like I said, starting with some neck rolls, we're just going to bring your right ear down to your right shoulder. Bring your chin to your chest. You can inhale as you bring your left ear to your left shoulder. And exhale, bringing your chin to your chest. Inhale. And you could go at your own pace here. Just kind of waking the neck up, stretching it out. Now we're just going to do some shoulder rolls. So just begin inhaling, lifting them up towards your ears, back. Just really stretching out your shoulders. I'm going to go the other way. Now bring them forward. We're just going to bring your arms out. Cross your right arm over your chest. Wrap it with your left. If this feels good, you can just pull it towards your body, stretching that right shoulder. If you want a little more, you want to do some eagle arms, wrap that arm around, bring your hands together. And then just try and expand, bring your elbows towards your navel. Stretching your shoulders out. Breathing. And release. And do the other arm. So now bring the left arm over the right. Again, you can either stay here. This feels good. If you want a little more, wrap your eagle arms and bring your elbows towards your navel. Stretching the shoulders down. And release. We're going to come over into tabletop. So hips above your knees, shoulders above your wrists. Or actually, you can bring your hands out a little bit past your shoulders because we're just going to do some hip circles. So you're going to bring your hips down to the right, to the left, and bring them down to the front, over to the right, and push back into child's pose. Over to the left, come down to the right, and back. Do one more this way. Off to the left. And back. Now we're going to go over to the right. And just reverse the direction that you were going. Inhaling as you come forward. Exhaling as you go back. One more. And as you exhale, push back into a wide-legged child's pose. So your big toes are touching, your knees are out to the sides of your mat a little bit. Just reaching your hands forward towards the top of your mat. You want to bring your forehead to rest. Just take a deep breath. Now we're going to thread the needle in child's pose. So just bring that right arm up and thread it underneath the left. Now come up on your fingertips of your left hand if you want, or just land flat. You're still pushing your hips back into your child's pose, but really just getting a nice stretch in that right shoulder also. Back, do the other arm, that left arm up, spread it through, stretching that left shoulder. And don't forget, remember to breathe. Breath really pushes the muscles to stretch a little bit more, and you can breathe into the pose. Back. And now we're just going to do, it's called the Cobra dance flow. So we're going to come forward, push your hips forward into Cobra. So your elbows are bent at your side, your chest is lifted, your shoulders are back. Inhale. And as you exhale, round your back, tuck your tailbone, come over into your cat position, and push back into child's pose. And then inhale to Cobra, round your back to cat, down to child's pose. We're kind of getting some cat cows. Just waking that spine up. Rounding. One more. And come to neutral. Tabletop position. Now we're going to walk down to our puppy pose. So if you want, you can put a block under your chest or a pillow under your chest. That'll give you some extra support. And just walk your hands down, reaching them out in front of you. Don't want the block, you want to bring your chest to the mat. It's really important to keep your hips above your knees. Also, if you want a little bit more, you can bring your hands into prayer pose and bend your elbows. Bringing your forehead or your chin to your mat. Take one more breath here. And release back to your tabletop. And just tuck your toes, hover your knees just for a second. And just slowly push your hips up. And try and bring your heels to the mat. If you want to keep one leg bent, and bend the other leg. Just walking your dog out. Bring your feet a little bit wider than hips distance. Now bring that right arm lifted up. Grab for your left ankle and twist to the side, opening yourself up to the side. Revolve down dog. Again, just breathing here. Pushing your ears away from your shoulders. Remembering to keep your spine straight, your hips lifted. And back. Now bring that left arm up and grab the right ankle and twist to the left. Again, keep pushing your ears away from your shoulder, opening up to the side. Breathing. And we're just going to come into a dolphin pose. So we're going to come down onto our forearms. You can interlace your hands or you can have them out straight in front of you. I get to release them. You want to keep your hips lifted. Try and walk your toes a little bit closer if you can. Just breathe here in dolphin. With each pose that you feel like, oh, I can't hold this anymore, just surrender to it. Surrender to the pose and let your breath guide you. Back up to down dog. And push up on the balls of your feet and slowly just walk your feet to your hands at the top of your mat. Into the standing forward fold. If you want to grab opposite elbows, let gravity kind of do the work as you let your upper body just hang, bending at the waist. If it feels better for you to have a little bend in your knees, you can totally do that. Just letting gravity bring you closer towards your mat, towards your legs. You want to rock side to side. And then release your hands. And then just slightly touching your ankles. And as you slowly roll up, just feel your fingertips guiding their way up your thighs, waist, above your head, into mountain pose with a slight back bend. Just breathe here. And exhale, forward fold. Now leave your right hand on the mat. Lift that left hand up, bending that right knee, opening up to the side. So you're really feeling that stretch in that left hamstring. And release. Now left hand to the mat. And right hand up. Bending that left knee, looking towards your right fingertips. And release down. And now we're going to just halfway lift. So come up to your fingertips, look forward. And then jump or step out to your plank. Exhale down to your chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. In your upward dog, you want to try and have your hips and the upper thighs off the mat. Shoulders are back, your chest is lifted. And lift your hips, tuck your toes into your down dog. Again, your feet are about hip distance apart. Your hands are about shoulder distance apart. Your spine is straight, your chest is lifted, pushing your mat away with your feet and your hands. Inhale, lift that left leg up. The right leg, sorry. That right leg up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, back up. Exhale, bend the knee, stack your hips. If this feels good, you could just stay here, maybe work on some hip circle openers. Or if you want to, flip your dog. Bring that right foot down to the floor, the right hand out. Come into your wild thing, looking at your right fingertips. And just breathe, lifting your hips up. And exhale, bring that right leg back up and under into your evolved side star plank. Lifting your hips up. Looking up at your left fingertips. And now just bring that right leg underneath the left into your regular side plank. So our shoulders above our wrist. Now bring that left knee into a side plank tree pose. That feels good for you, still lifting your hips. Then exhale with holding the tree pose, come into a plank. And then slowly lower down to your mat, still in tree pose. Bring your hands out to the side, not like you're on your fingertips. And we're just gonna lift up into a cobra. Kind of gives you a little bit different of a stretch in that lower back and that lower spine. And I'm gonna bring that right arm underneath and that left arm out to the side, just for a little supine spinal twist. And come back through. That left leg goes back. Lift up to your up dog, and exhale to your down dog. Now we're going to do the other leg. So now inhale, lift that left leg up, straight out behind you, and exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, back up. Exhale, bend the knee, stack the hips, and stay here if that feels good. Or flip your dog into your wild thing, lifting your hips, looking at your left fingertips. Taking a breath. And come back around. That left leg underneath and through into your side star plank. Looking up at the right fingertips, lifting the hips high. And coming to your regular side plank, bringing that left foot right underneath the right. Bring the right foot into side plank tree pose. Keeping your hips lifted. Exhale, staying in tree pose plank. Slowly lower it down to your mat. Hands out to the side, lift into cobra. Take a breath. And then release that right leg back as you come back down to the mat. Now just bring your forearms to the mat straight out in front of you. Coming into our Sphinx pose. So it's like cobra, except our hands are at a 90-degree angle. I mean, our arms. We're just lifting your chest, rolling your shoulders back, looking up, just opening up that chest a bit. And then we're gonna push up to our upward dog. And exhale, lift your hips, tuck your toes, your down dog. Again, take a breath here. 3 breaths. Last breath, inhale. And as you exhale, slowly walk your feet to your hands. We're going to do that roll up again. This really just helps connect you to your body so you can learn to surrender. You can listen to your body, know when you can surrender and let go and just be guided. Just lightly touch your legs, have your knees bent. You slowly roll up your spine. And lifting your arms overhead into prayer. Slight back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Now step the left foot back into our low lunge. Let's bring that left knee down to the mat. You can flip your toes. And inhale into low lunge. You have some blocks. You can always use blocks for any poses, but with the half splits, it always helps too. So just have your arms overhead. And then we're gonna exhale, straighten that right leg. That left hip is above the left knee. And just slowly fold yourself, folding from the hip, trying to get closer towards your leg. You just want to make sure that your hips are square and your spine is straight, because like, yeah, I could go like that, but that's not the whole, lifting up and folding over. And one more, come into your low lunge, arms overhead. Like feeling that stretch in that left hamstring, that left hip flexor. And exhale to half split again. I always have to adjust this back leg, that's okay. Now bring the left hand to the outside of the right foot. And lift that right arm up. And just twist. And back down to center. And coming forward into your low lunge. And bring your hands to the inside of the right foot. Slowly heel toe your foot over to the edge of your mat. And kind of let that knee fall open. Come down to your forearms into a modified lizard pose. If it feels good for you to lift that back leg, tucking those toes, giving you a little bit deeper of a stretch in that right hip flexor. Anybody wants to bind? Just wrap up the right arm underneath. And release and step that right leg back into our plank position. Slowly lower yourself down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. And step that left foot forward between your hands. Bring that right knee down to your mat into your low lunge. Inhale, arms up. Feeling that stretch in the right hip flexor. Exhale, straighten that left leg out and fold over. And once more into your low lunge. Arms overhead. And release to your half split. This time we're going to bring the right hand. You can also use the block for this. Gives you a little extra support. Right hand to the outside of the left foot. And that left arm up. So we're just getting a twist and that stretch in the hamstring. And release. Back to your low lunge. Bring your hands to the inside of the left foot. Heel toe your left foot over to the edge of your mat and let it hang open to the side. Coming down on your forearms. Staying here if this feels good. Or if you want to tuck your toes and lift that right back leg, you can also do that, keeping that back leg strong. And if you want to bind, bring that left arm underneath, right arm behind you. Let it open to the side. Release, step that left foot back into your plank. Exhale down, chaturanga. Inhale to upward dog. Exhale, lift the hips, tuck your toes, down dog. And go up on the tips of your toes, roll over back into your plank pose. Just gonna do a couple of these. So lift the hips, tuck your toes into down dog. Inhale, roll over into your plank pose. And lift your hips to your down dog. One more, just go on the tips of your toes, roll over into your plank. Then come down onto your forearms, into your forearm plank. And just take a breath here, looking forward. You want a little bit more, you want to bring that left hip down to the left, up, down to the right, up. This is really good to work your waist, gain some core strength. But again, you don't have to. And come back up to plank. Lift your hips to your down dog and slowly walk your hands to your feet again into your forward fold. And see if you can bring yourself in a little bit closer. Really feeling that stretch. Some water. And inhale, arms up. Exhale, sit back down into your chair pose. Focusing on that drishti point in front of you. Your arms at heart center, out above, wherever feels good for you. If you can, bring them to heart center. And bring that right knee to the outside of, the right elbow to the outside of the left knee into our twisted chair pose. You want to make sure you're pushing that right hip back so they're staying square and in line. And if you can, open your arms up, bring the right fingertips down to the ground, the left up to the sky, looking up at the left fingertips. Now step that right leg back into your revolved lunge, looking up at the left fingertips still. Sorry, almost fell out. And on your next inhale, lift up. And bring that left hand down your right thigh, the right arm up and over. In twisted reverse. Lunge. Looking up at your right fingertips. Keeping that back leg strong. And now windmill your arms open into your warrior two. So the back right foot is almost parallel, but not quite with the back of your mat. And this top left foot is pointing to the top of your mat. Your left knee is over your left ankle. And your arms are out to your sides, looking at your left fingertips. Now we're going to reverse the warrior. So if you want to bring your right hand down that right leg, if you want to wrap it around your back, reach the the left arm up and over. Your reverse warrior. Release that left hand down to the inside of the left foot. And right arm up and over into your extended side angle. If you want to bind, bring that left arm underneath, the right arm behind, and open your chest up. Back to your warrior two. Straighten that left leg. Push your hips out to the right. Bring the left fingertips down to the mat or to your big toe. Into your triangle pose, looking up at your right fingertips. And then lift up and bring the right hand down the right leg, the left fingertips up, reverse triangle. And the side stretch on the other leg, on the other side. Back to here. We're going to bend that left knee and we're going to slowly come into our half moon pose. So that left hand comes down to the floor of the mat, or if you want a block, lifting that right arm up. Sorry, the block. Lifting that right arm up. That right leg is out, your foot is flexed. And release. That down to your warrior two. Now we're going to pivot that foot so it's at a 45-degree angle. That front foot is staying the same. We're coming into our warrior one, hands overhead, left knee over left ankle, hip square, shoulder square. And straighten that front leg and bend over into your pyramid pose. To bring your hands to the blocks outside or down to the mat, whatever feels good. You just want to make sure that your hips are square, your spine is straight as you fold over. You want to grab opposite elbows as you fold over. That usually helps me stay a little bit straighter. And just step that right foot forward into your forward fold. Inhale, your arms up. Exhale, sit back into your chair pose again. This time we're going to bring our hands to heart center and bring the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Trying to keep the hips in line. You can open up, bring the left fingertips down to the mat, the right fingertips to the ceiling. And step that left foot back in your revolved lunge. Taking a breath here. Really just surrendering to your practice, to the moment, to the feeling. Inhale, lift up. And bring that right hand down that left leg, that left arm up and over. And inhale, windmill the arms open into your warrior two. You can always readjust yourself. That back foot is almost at a 90-degree angle with the front foot. At right ankle, right knee's over the right ankle, looking over our right fingertips. Again, you can bring that left arm behind, grabbing for that right thigh as you reverse your warrior, or just have it go down that back leg. And exhale, come into your side angle, bring the right hand to the inside of the right foot, that left arm up and over, keeping these open, or opened up to the side of the room. And if you want to bind, right arm underneath, left arm behind your back, lift your chest open. And release. Straighten that right leg, push your hips out to the left. Bring the right fingertips down to the mat or grab onto your big toe. So you look up at your left fingertips. So your arms should be in like a T. And this back foot is almost perpendicular to the front. Breath. Lift back up. And reverse your warrior. So bringing that left hand down, the left leg, the right arm up. Again, your hands are kind of like in a T. Back to warrior two. And then bend that right knee as we slowly come. Bring the right hand down to the mat, to a block. And lift that left leg up as the foot is flexed. Opened up to the side. Looking up at your left fingertips. It's okay if you lose your balance. That's why they call it practice. Sometimes I like to use block. I feel like it helps me a little bit more. And slowly come back to warrior two. Pivot that back foot. Turn your hips and your shoulders so they're square with the top of your mat. That back foot is at a 45-degree angle into our warrior one. Right knee over right ankle. And deep breath. Inhaling. Exhaling, releasing. Inhaling, surrendering. Exhaling, releasing. Straighten that right leg. Your hips are square. Lift your chest up. As you exhale, fold it over into your pyramid pose. Again, keeping your chest and spine as lifted and straight as possible. And step forward. Now we're going to come into tree pose. I'm just going to show you guys. Just going to inhale, lift that right leg to the inside of the calf or your inner thigh. Or if you want a little bit more, you can come to half lotus tree pose, bringing that right ankle, top of the left hip, and bringing your hands to heart center, or your hands overhead. This could be a lot on your knee though, so if that's the case, then totally stay in tree pose, that's totally fine. Just really focusing on centering yourself and getting back in touch with yourself so you know you can surrender every day. You can have trust in yourself and your higher power. And Inhale without releasing that right leg. Bring the right knee into your chest. And we're gonna open up to the side. Grabbing that right knee with your left hand, pushing your right arm out to the side. And back through center. You're gonna grab that big toe. Your left hand is on your left hip. And slowly just straighten that right leg out. You wanna grab onto it with both hands. Try and bring it in a little bit closer. Just grab onto it with your right hand, left hand on your hips. See if you can open it up to the side. And slowly bring it back to center. And release it down. And now we're gonna do the other side. Just gonna bring that left foot up to the inside of your right calf or your right thigh. Or into your half lotus tree pose. Again, it's gonna be overhead or at your heart center. Just focusing on surrendering everything you're trying to control. Just let it go and let it be. And watch what happens. When you can learn to start surrendering to what is instead of trying to imagine and make things into what you want it to be, things will start working out, coming together for you. Again, without releasing that leg, bring that left knee into the chest, hold on to it with the right hand, and slowly bring that left arm out to the side. So we're just twisting. Look at the left fingertips. And slowly back to center. Now we're gonna grab that left big toe, right hand on your hips, left hand grabbing the left big toe, and slowly pull that out straight in front of you. You wanna grab onto it with both hands. Slowly bring it in closer to your forehead. Please grab onto that big toe again, right hand on right hip, and open up to the side. Back through center. Slowly release down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fall down. Jump or step back to your plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. And come forward. Bring your knees down to your mat, into your tabletop position. And come up to your top of your knees. So I'm just gonna put some water. We're gonna start our camel pose. So you can just bring your hands to the small of your back with your fingertips facing up. And try and bring your elbows to touch. So you push your hips back. This feels good. You want a little bit more. Bring one hand down to your right heel. Lift that left arm up. So you're getting a side stretch as you're pushing your hips forward. Bring the left hand down to the left heel. Right arm up, back. Bring that right, both hands down to both heels. Pushing the hips forward. Release. I'm going to try one leg cobra. One leg camel. So bring that left foot to the mat. And bring that right hand down to the right heel. And that left hand down to the mat behind you. And even if you can, bring that right arm up now. And release. Now bring that right foot to the mat. That right hand goes down to that left heel. That left hand comes up and over, pushing the hips forward. And release. Push back into your child's pose. Bring your hips towards your heels. And then just push your hips forward. To an up dog or cobra. Tuck your toes, down dog. Then just come through to seated. Your feet, the soles of your feet flat on your mat. Your knees are bent. And slowly just lower down, vertebrae by vertebrae, until you're down flat on your mat. Bring your hands to the side. Your feet are close to your glutes. Your knees are bent. When you inhale, you're going to push your hips up into our bridge pose. So next inhale, lift up. You can bring your hands behind you if you want, or underneath you. Try and give you some extra support. Pushing up into your bridge. Tucking your chin so you're not hurting anything. Trying to keep those knees together. And the hips and knees, shoulders all square. One more breath here. Really push up. And release. Bring your knees into your chest. Roll side to side. And you can either do another bridge, or if you want to come into wheel pose, bring your hands, if you're coming into wheel, bring your hands by your ears. Elbows are bent, your feet are as close to your glutes as possible. Your next inhale, push up. Straighten out. Try and keep the legs together. You don't want them opening up to the side too much. Really pushing the hips up. Keeping the knees together. You might always want to open up to the side. Sometimes it's easy to practice. I mean, not easy, but sometimes it's good to practice with a block between your legs. You want to lift one leg up. And the other leg. And release down. Whew. Bring your knees into your chest. Just roll. Rock. We're going to come into our shoulder stand. So just on your next roll, slowly bring your hands to the small of your back and walk them up towards your shoulders as you bring your elbows closer together into your shoulder stand. Bring that right leg down to touch the floor. That left leg is up. Then switch. Bring the left leg down to touch the floor. Back up. And bend both legs. Come down into plow pose. Want to bend your knees. You totally do that too. And slowly release, vertebrae by vertebrae. Let your body come back down to your mat. We're going to come into our fish pose. Bring your hands underneath your glutes and your arms pretty much underneath. We're going to come up, bend the elbows so they're at a 90-degree angle. And just let your head hang back. If you want a supported fish pose, also this sometimes can give you a little bit more in your upper back. And release. Now just bring the soles of your feet to your mat. Knees are bent. We're just going to do some windshield wipers. Just let them fall over to the left and then fall over to the right, working that lower spine. Bring that left leg out straight. Grab onto the big toe of your right or the outside of your right foot. I'm just going to come into half happy baby. Just bringing that knee down towards the mat. Bring up that right hip flexor. Just staying stagnant, giving it a little bit of movement. Release. And bring the left knee into your chest. Grab onto the left big toe or the outside of the left foot. And come into your half happy baby on this side. Bringing the left knee down towards the mat. Now we're gonna do full happy baby. Just grab onto the outside of both feet. Bring your knees down towards the mat. Just kind of rock side to side. And release down. Bring the soles of your feet together to touch into butterfly or Supta Baddha Konasana. And a lot of times too, it helps feel this feel good. Putting pillows or blocks underneath, like on your lower back, it really just kind of helps open that up a little bit more. You can either stay here, or if you want to, give yourself one last big stretch. Inhale, exhale, stretch it out, and release into your Savasana. Surrender to the moment. Just slowly feel your body start to relax. If you want to close your eyes, you can close your eyes. That feels good. Or you can leave them open. But just consciously check in with your body right now. And feel yourself relax from the top of your head down to the tips of your toes. Just slowly feel your body surrendering to the moment. Feel your body surrendering to your practice. Feet start to relax and release any tension they were holding throughout your practice. Moving up towards your calves, your knees, your upper thighs. Just feel each of them release and surrender to the moment as you bring your awareness to them. Your waist, your abdomen, your chest, your back. Just feel the muscles relaxing. Feel it down your shoulders, your arms, your forearms, and your hands, your neck, to your jaw. Relax your jaw. Relax your eyes. Feel your whole face just surrender to the moment. Think about what you need to let go of, what you need to have faith in, what you need to trust in. Maybe you need to strengthen your connection with your higher power because you don't feel that trust. You don't feel that security, that safety. But you need to show up for yourself first. You need to practice. And then you'll start to see. You can stay here for as long as you like. just letting the practice settle in, letting your body integrate everything it was just working on. Or you can just open your eyes. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's practice on surrendering. If anybody has any questions, as always, feel free to reach out at SamCam Yoga, or you can always also just schedule through the Wellness Collective's app for a one-on-one session. If you know that that's something you're interested in, that's something you want to do, I'd love to help you out and get to know you and show you all the different aspects of yoga that can really help change your life. Yoga has changed my life in so many ways, and I know it can do that for anybody who's interested. So if anybody has any questions ever, feel free to reach out. Again, at SamCam Yoga, Samantha Cameron on Facebook. And I hope you guys enjoyed today. Hope you got something from it. And remember, just surrender and trust the process. And love you guys. Have a good day.